All right, so as you guys can tell by the title of this video, today I'm gonna be answering every commonly asked question I get in my Pokemon vending machine business. So let's get straight into it. No, you do not need to know anything about Pokemon to do this. You don't need to be a collector. You don't need to know what a holographic Charizard's worth. The customer already knows all this. They're the ones with the obsession, you're just the operator. Your job's to know what packs are selling, where to buy them, where to place the machine so that it actually makes money. The product knowledge is the easy part. Landing the location is the hardest part. So if you're worried about whether you need to know more about Pokemon to do this, kill that thought right now. You don't need to be a fan. You just need to know how to talk to a business owner. All right, so how do you find locations? These machines can go pretty much anywhere as long as it has high foot traffic. Think gas stations, convenience stores, arcades, bowling alleys, liquor stores, literally anywhere with high foot traffic. You can find these places by simply looking on Google, or if you want to find the best performing locations, I always like to look at Yelp, Instagram, Facebook, and other social media platforms. If they're active on social media, then they're probably a good place to put a Pokemon vending machine. Once you find the best locations in your area, the next and most important step is skip tracing. The best way to contact these business owners is through cold calling. So you need to utilize skip tracing to find their name, phone number, email. From there, once you know the best places and where to contact them at, it's pretty much just a volume game. You need to be DMing, cold calling, emailing multiple times a week to every single owner on your list. Don't expect to make one call and close your first location. It can take weeks or even months, but one location is all you need to start generating $2,000 to $3,000 a month. When I first started, I had never cold called in my life. Zero connections, and was just a kid that worked construction for $15 an hour. So although being a good salesman can go a long way, I argue it's better to have a good work ethic. So I get this question a lot, and the answer is every area has demand. Pokemon is a $10 billion company. The customer base spans from kids, adults, teens, it doesn't matter. If your area has foot traffic, you have demand. I've seen small towns with under 10,000 people still have good locations. The bigger question isn't whether your area has demand, it's whether your area has businesses willing to host a machine. And 99% of the time, there probably will be. All right, so how much does it cost to get this started? Let me break this down honestly. Machines from VTM are anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000 depending on the model. Product to fill the machine costs anywhere from $500 to $1,000. And then there's a couple other fees that you may have to worry about, like getting an LLC, insurance, stuff like that. But all that stuff is generally less than a few $100. So realistically, you could get a single machine up and running for $4,000 to $5,000. There's also a whole bunch of different financing options. You can use third-party processors like Klarna and Afterpay, or you can do what I did, use a 0% APR credit card to finance the machine over 12 months. What I would say is don't worry about the money, land the location first, and then from there, it'll motivate you to go find that capital. This business is actually built for people with 9 to 5s. That's actually how I got started. You could do outreach on evenings, lunch breaks, weekends, and once the machine's placed, it runs 24/7 without you being there. Restocks take about an hour, and you may have 1 to 2 maintenance issues every month. So you can easily get started by spending 5 to 10 focused hours a week, and you can have a machine accumulating money in the first 30 to 60 days. If you're actually committed, this can absolutely work if you have a job. So the majority of your machine is obviously going to be Pokemon cards, but recently we've been adding mystery graded slabs. With this, you could buy slabs from $20 to $25 and sell them in your machine from $50 to even $75. In terms of the packs itself, my best selling cards are packs like Prismatic Evolutions, Ascended Heroes, Mega Evolution, and White Flare and Black Bolt. Most of these I buy from $7 to $10 and I sell from 2 to 3 times what I bought it at. Again, these people are not buying to profit off the packs. It's strictly all impulse, having fun, and ripping the packs. I used to use a lot of eBay, Facebook Marketplace, and local card shops in my area. But after building a lot of connections from social media, card shows, and other mutual relationships, I now have found a network of private suppliers so I can simply tell them the pack I want, what price I'm willing to pay, and get it delivered at a reasonable time frame without having to worry about getting scammed, resealed packs, fake packs, and all this other bullshit I had to deal with when ordering off eBay and Marketplace. So if you want to fast track the product sourcing process, click the first link in the description, watch the full video, fill out the form so that one of my team members can reach out to you. All right, so the machines are actually a lot smaller than most people think. The wall mount is about the size of a jukebox, roughly 3 feet by 2 feet, and extends about a foot off the wall. The freestanding mega tower is actually a little bigger, standing around 6 feet tall and 2.5 feet wide. Most people actually start with the wall mount because it's easier to place, and owners are actually way more receptive to the smaller machine. First, let's get one thing clear. Sales is a skill, not a natural born talent. If you can have a normal conversation with a regular human, you can also close a Pokemon vending machine location. On top of that, you don't actually even have to talk to anybody to land locations. You can do it through cold DMs or even cold emails. Also, something that I have been implementing is sales reps. This does not mean that you're paying them a salary. These are strictly commission-based sales reps. They only get paid if you actually place the machine in the location. When hiring sales reps, one thing to note is that the person with more sales experience isn't necessarily a better fit for the role. I'm not looking for door-to-door salesmen or real estate agents. I only want people that have connections in the industry. Realistic timeline from week 1 to week 4. This is going to be outreach, walk-ins, getting your first yes. And then from week 4 to 6, this is signing contracts, ordering machines, and getting everything ready to legally operate a vending business. So I would say from 30 to 90 days from start to first dollar, depending on who you are. Some people go faster and some people take longer. It just depends on your effort, your area, and how much experience you already have. Once that first machine is live, the second, third, fourth location comes way faster. But like I said, expect 30 days until you actually start making money. All right, so that covers every commonly asked question I get. If there's anything I missed that you want answered, please comment below. I will try my best to reply in the comments or make a separate video. But thank you for watching this video. I will see you in the next one.